Welcome to episode 2, where we finally jump into our gameplay. Let's just kick it off fast. Now, our goal is to hit level 10 today, but I am not going to show off the challenges at this current second because we don't have the right units. Now, here is the first place that you're going to play. This is going to be your story mode. As you can see here right now, we have a total of 8 different maps that we can choose. In each map, we're going to have 10 different levels and 2 endless options. As you can see, all of that is locked. So this is going to be where we're going to start today. Kind of. But first, we're going to finish up the screen. So we've got the egg pass, our gems, and our green coins on which we can earn. We'll get this from playing levels. Then we have something called raffle tickets. Once we open chests, we can enter to win this unique prismatic unit. Then we have something called playtime prizes. Now, as you can see, you can get some pretty unique stuff in here, and including stuff that's really helpful, like that 7x game speed, 1 month crew pass, some dice, the premium 3 card packs, a mount, and even a prismatic unit. So let's go through and I'll show you exactly what I mean, where boom, now we have 500 more green coins and we're at 5,500. So let's open up another one here. All right, so now we have 250 gems, and the next one, more gems, and another one, and another one, and another one. And then we've got a boosted one, and that one we got 1,000 coins. So, and this resets if you open them every 3 hours. And you can see that these bigger ones increase your modifiers, but you have to stay in the game for the entire time for this to count. So we've already been in the game for roughly 30 minutes. Let's go ahead and let's finally get into some gameplay after I'm done yapping. I know, but I at least wanted to show you everything and where it is and what it's about. And then the last thing before we jump into the gameplay is going to be this little scroll on the right. And that's going to tell you what is going on currently, what events happening, and how to play. So we got the Easter egg hunt. We've got all the eggs are scattered across Bikini Bottom. Can you find them? So that's where we're talking about the Easter event, what you can win, what the new map is, the new units, and as well as the limited time prismatic, which is already gone, because that was for sale on Easter. So let's go ahead, let's hop in, let's get playing here, and we're going to go to the only map we can, which is Con Street 1. And I do recommend starting this on normal with the units that we have. So right now we have a 1x speed and a 2x speed. We obviously want to try and go as fast as we can to get through the next level. We start off with 550 coins and 100 health. As you can see, our most expensive unit is Pearl at 500. Now we have a cross path here, so I want to place Pearl in this cross path because that means that Pearl will get a chance to hit the unit here and twice. So as this unit comes across, you can kind of see the damage here is at 140. Well, Pearl does 440 damage, so Pearl will take out that unit. So let's turn this up to 2. Now we beat that wave, so a new one starts. Now, one of the first tips that I recommend is instead of clicking skip wave, you can open up through the cogwheel and you can just turn on auto skip wave. And you can get rid of cutscenes, which are going to slow down your gameplay. So you do have tower VFX, dialogue, music, sound effects, and mount sound effects. Now, if you're anything like me and graphics really aren't going to be an issue, leaving it on is fine, but it does have a tendency with you, when you start getting later in the game, to get pretty bad. So I have a tendency just to turn about tower VFX off and turn all this stuff on and leave auto skip on and auto skip cutscenes on with everything else. This is going to give you the smoothest gameplay throughout. Now, we do have common units, we've got our rare units and our uncommon units, and we can place multiples. So as you can see, we've got that dirty bubble that just got by us, and I'll show you that we'll end up taking damage from that bubble. But we want to place our pearls all in these four corners for this, because that means that when they get here, it's going to get 4 times the damage right off the bat. As you can see, that dirty bubble went away almost immediately as it got through there. Now we have other units, which are going to be SpongeBob here. And this one works pretty much the same concept. You're going to have your overall area in which SpongeBob can damage targets. And we're going to put this in the middle because one of the things you can do is you can actually level up your target. So as you can see, when I click through it, it's getting bigger and bigger. And when it's max, it now covers this entire loop, and its damage went up. Its SPA or SPA, as you can see, its damage went up, its range went up, and its SPA, which is its repeat time, went down. So, as you can see right now, we have Pearl, which is going to be at 444 damage. This is its next setting. So as we click that, Pearl now does that much more damage. As we progress through, it will continue to grow and grow. So damage is going to be the amount of damage that it's going to do to the unit. So as you can see here, we got 1,000 damage, and it's going to do 888 on the first hit. And the SPA, which is 2.7, which is stating that every 2.7 seconds, it should reset the animation, and Pearl should jump and boom, hit damage. As it progresses, now it should be 2.6 seconds and then jump. Range is going to be 21 squares in the way that it works out, but it is a circle. So as it progresses, it will get bigger throughout, and that will mean that your effective range of Pearl will be even better than it was before. As you can see, SpongeBob only has this circle. Once again, as its range begins to grow, it does become quite bigger. Its damage does increase, and the speed in which it re-attacks is going to drop. So the goal is to try and get these placed, and right now we're just trying to get through level 5 because that gets us through Endless, and then we're going to kind of go through Endless, and I'll show you what the fastest way. As we're on wave 3 here, you can only place so many of a tower. Now, a common tower, as you can see, you can only place 6. Then we have our rare tower, which we can only place a total of 4. And then lastly, we have our uncommon, which is lower than our rare. And we should be able to place 5 of these. And as you can see, once again, it stops you from placing certain amounts. So as it progresses, it will be less and less. There are some limiteds where you can replace more, because depending on the limited, it either follows secret, exotic, or prismatic. A secret, an exotic, or prismatic only starts with one single placement. So we have to be careful with that as well. There are traits that we can add, and that will help us with placement as well as other things, but we've got to get there because right now we're too early in the game. So we'll get to that a little bit later when we start getting different units. So right now my goal is just to get through, beat wave 5, and then we're going to go into Endless. Because getting through levels is ultimately what's going to allow us to open up the map to different areas in the game. We've now level 5, which is instantly going to make the unit stronger than what it was before, and that was just simply by placing it. As it earns XP, it will continue to level up. At this point, we don't really care about food because the units are going to level up throughout this progress, and these aren't going to be the units that we're looking to use long term. I don't want to slow my progress later in the game by using food to level these units. I'm going to save that for when we get a good unit. So as you can see, this took 3 minutes and 28 seconds just to beat level 4, which is why when I talked about the passes earlier, the speed passes are going to be one of the most important. But let's move to level 5, because once we pass level 5, we can do something called endless. Now, another way that we can level up our units is we have our unit button here, which you can click, or you can press F, and it will open up your unit manager tab. Once the unit manager tab is open, you have the upgrade or sell. Now, obviously we're playing, so we don't want to sell, but we want to upgrade all our units to try and speed through this level. So let's get these upgraded. As you can see, we ran out of coins here to upgrade. As we place these units, you'll see that there's different costs, and it's going to go common, uncommon, rare, epic, so on and so forth. As it builds up to the highest rarity, it's going to cost more to place these units. You're going to start with a certain amount of coins, so you're going to need to be careful on exactly which units you place first. Alright, so we have officially beat wave 5. We've also got some more time here, and we now have another 5x playtime rewards, so let's open it up. And we got some food. Now, once again, we're still not going to do that because we just have our base units. And we've got 80 eggs, so still not enough to buy one of these baskets. But we are going to hop right back in now. And now we're going to go to something called Endless A, which means it's going to be as many waves as you can handle. And we want to hop in here because this is going to be the fastest way right now for us to level up. So as you can see, we have certain dollar amounts. Now I've got 650 coins, so I need to replace the best starting damage. So I'm going to do a SpongeBob wave here, and I'm going to kind of overlap the blue circles just a little bit to make sure that we are good for the start of this. I'm going to then start waves and turn it up to our 2x speed. As you can see, all this stuff costs money, so we are not quite ready to get there yet. And we are going to put our pearl here. As you can see, we are going to take damage right off the bat and ultimately lose because we don't have enough power. So this is endless. And as you can see, we are not going to have enough units of this caliber to be good enough to play endless yet. So we are going to end up losing here. We're going to try and take as many things down as possible. Don't think we're going to have enough with pearl here. So we've been defeated. So we are not ready for endless. So let's get back. All right, so let's get to Constraint 6. And let's get playing. And we're going to get through all 10. We're trying to get to level 5 so we can open up that next slot. So as you can see here, we have our different placement values. We're going to have common, uncommon, and we're going to have rare, epic. Then ultimately after that, legendary, mythic, limited, secret, exotic, and prismatic. And they are going to increase every single time. So ultimately we want to make sure that we have enough coins to get something down fast enough to get the first unit out. So as you can see, we got it all the way through. And then we're going to end up placing our pearl because it's going to cover 2 lanes this way. And we're going to just level up our pearl because it is doing the most damage for us. right, we've officially reached level 5, which means we now unlocked a new spot where we can place a new unit and officially have 4. We're going to go ahead, we're going to finish the first 10 levels here of Count Street, and then we will check back in. All right, we've played around a little bit and we now have some more playtime prizes. So let's hit this one here and we just get more coins. So nothing good at this point. Now, honestly, the fastest way to get better units right now, if you're just starting, is the most boring way, frankly. We are going to go to AFK Rock and we are going to speed this up by trying to get our pet, the secret, maybe an exotic, and if we get ridiculously lucky, a prismatic. So let's hop in here until we've got our pet and see what we can get with our unit, and then we'll get back to play. Unfortunately, this is the best method. All right, and this is the part where we're going to change some computer settings. So if it is not your computer, make sure you get your parent or the owner's authorization prior to doing this. So we are going to go into Windows, followed by Settings. I have my screen set to 1 hour, which means that eventually my screen will turn off, and sleep, I have it to never. That means it's going to stay on. So Roblox is going to continue running in the background, meaning that I'm going to be able to stay in AFK Rock overnight and get as many different things as I can every 10 minutes. So hopefully that when we wake up, we will have our Doug and we will have the pet that we need to continue on with this game. Unfortunately, this is the fastest way to get through to the next steps that we need. All right, and we are in AFK Rock. That means we are going to be here overnight. We are going to attempt to get our Doug and pet. And episode 3, we will check in to see where we're at and get to level 10 so we can start claiming code crates and working our way towards the next step challenges. So make sure you are subscribed and following this series to get the best advice moving forward.